Mike Vanacore Field for another exciting year of North Haven High School football on NHTV. But they used a lot of running backs last year, and a couple of them returning, including both Albert and Corey Hooks. You also got Teray Smith Jr. and Max Augustine to lead that running back core. Also, Justin White will be leading the offense, taking the snaps this year after Seamus Meehan left due to graduation. Now, one other thing for the North Haven Indians this year is that they will have a very young secondary this year, and they will have their work cut out for them against this Fairfield Prep team, where J.P. Irapoli, their starting quarterback, coming out of this year with 23 touchdowns last year, almost 2,000 passing yards, which is a lot of passing yards for a high school team. So they will definitely be passing tonight and testing that young secondary for the North Haven Indians. And one guy to look out for in the receiving corps for the Jesuits is Max McGillicuddy. Had 3 touchdowns last year and 25 receptions for 427 reception yards. And one other thing to look at, also the running corps for the Jesuits have also graduated 18 touchdowns from their seniors last year, only 3 touchdowns coming back from last year. Sean Nelson and Dean Zarenides will be leading the running back core there. But the big question for Fairfield Prep this year will be their defense. They have 9 new starters this year, so a very inexperienced defense that hopefully North Haven can take advantage of in this first game. It will be a big battle, a tough matchup for North Haven, as they are a Class L team going against a Class L team to open up this season. It should be a fun one, and it will be a good one here at Mike Vanacore Field. And when we come back, we'll have the coin toss and the kickoff and the national anthem. You're watching North Haven High School football on NHTV.
Subway, Universal Drive, North Haven. Locally owned and operated, featuring delicious subs, wraps, salads, and all of your catering needs. Subway, Universal Drive next to Home Depot in North Haven.
Forget-Me-Not Florist, 39 State Street, North Haven. A true full-service flower shop providing same-day delivery. Whether it's birthdays, anniversaries, or sympathy, Forget-Me-Not is there for you.
HB Communications, 60 Dodge Avenue, North Haven. Since 1946, specializing in audio-video solutions, including video conferencing, unified communications, digital signage, and more.
North Haven has won the toss, and they will defer.
Hey, we got ball. Go hot. Hey, we got ball.
The Fairfield Prep captains are Luke Hopkins, Max McGillicuddy, and Anthony Casablanca. Officials for tonight's game, the referee is Jeff Roddick, umpires Anthony Mace, linesman Don Eldridge, the line judge is Richard Schultz, the back judge James Vicario, and the electric clock operator is Andrews. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we all please rise or remove our hats for the singing of the national anthem by North Haven High School senior Marlon Zakaris, backed up by the North Haven High School band under the direction of Mr. Ken Tedeschi.
for the first kickoff of the 2019 season for North Haven High School football on NHTV. My name is Michael Valenti. Again, thank you for joining us here on NHTV. And if you're watching us live on Facebook, again, thank you for joining us this evening. The Fairfield Prep Jesuits squaring off against the North Haven Indians. North Haven won the toss. They elected to defer. So the Jesuits wearing white jerseys with red numbers and trim. Going from our right to left, we'll start with the ball as North Haven wearing their maroon jerseys, white pants, and maroon trim. We'll kick things off. Chase DiCarlo, who returns for his junior year, will kick things off.
Back to receive for the Jesuits.
It will be Luke Hopkins back there with Tymaine Smith. And here's the kick. It's a good kick inside the 5 and will be returned by Hopkins. Got plenty of room there, and he's hit just shy of the 30-yard line. So we'll have our first look at the North Haven defense to start this 2019 season. As I said in the pregame, a very young secondary team, but their experience will come with the defensive line as they have a lot of seniors coming back on that front. Luke Maruca, Joe Ranciato, Pat De Silva, and Jack Preve all coming on the defensive side of the ball, returning for their senior years.
First and 10 to the Jesuits at the North Haven at their own 30-yard line.
So first and 10 from the 30-yard line. There'll be a spread offense here, and the first pass is complete. Gets a couple yards before he's dropped down. Pass went to Andrew Loyola. It'll be 2nd and 6.
35, so it's a 5-yard gain, so it'll be 2nd down and 5.
Both teams very experienced up front, so this will be a battle of the trenches here. Another spread offense for Fairfield Prep. Look for that a lot tonight. 3 wide receivers on the near side. Irapoli hands it off, and he's stuffed in the middle there. Good job by the defensive line, pushing the force up front, and it'll be a loss of yards on the play. So it'll be 3rd and long here for the North Haven Indians, trying to force a punt and their first defensive drive of the season. Sean Nelson, the lone back. 3rd down. Rapoli drops back, and the pass is incomplete. So the Jesuits go 3 and out, and they'll punt in their first possession.
Andrew Loy, the intended receiver, so that's going to bring 4th and 6 to the Jesuits.
Low snap. Punt nearly blocked. It's a high punt. Very good hang time there. This one will be returned. Gets to the 30, finds some room, gets to the 35, and dropped around the 37-yard line. So we'll see North Haven's offense for the first time tonight. A lot of new faces from last year. Taking the snaps this year for North Haven is Justin White. Then we have Albert and Corey Hooks. Teray Smith Jr., Max Augustine will be part of this offense as well. Coach Sagnella, before the season, spoke with one of the local papers saying that he has one of the most experienced and biggest offensive lines that he's ever seen in North Haven. Let's see if that helps them. 1st and 10. It's a direct snap. Augustine takes the snap. He gets about 4 yards there. This is going to be a very intense matchup between the tackles. Who's going to do better with their running back core? And Augustine starting with +4 on their first rush of the game. 2nd and 6. There's a snap to Hooks. Hooks crosses the 50, a first down, and a little extra. Good run there to give North Haven the first down of the game. Great run. That was a very good run there by Corey Hooks. So that moves the chains, and North Haven is on Fairfield Prep's side of the ball. Fairfield Prep last year finishing 10-2, making it to the semifinals in the Class Double L playoffs. North Haven made it to the quarterfinals of the Class L. 1st and 10 for North Haven. Single wing offense as always. Direct snap. Goes up the middle, and another run there for a positive gain, and that's all North Haven has to do is keep the ball moving. So it'll be 2nd and 6. One thing that North Haven did a lot last year, and it looks like they'll do the same this year, is rotate their running backs. This time it is a handoff.
And Watson picks up a couple more yards, close to the first down.
Very close to the first down there.
Spot of the foul is a couple yards short. So to be clear, they're about 3 to go.
So they are actually short about 3 yards there, 3rd and 3. North Haven with their first possession of the 2019 season. No wide receivers in this formation. Makes you think it's going to be a run, and it is a run to the left side. First down, Corey Hooks again. Great run there. Moves the chain. First down, North Haven, and they are within the 30-yard line from that run. Corey Hooks is looking good so far in this first drive of the game. A name you definitely want to get recognized is Corey Hooks here. 1st and 10. It goes again to Hooks. Between the tackles, shakes a couple defenders and moves it to the 25-yard line. Just doing a great job so far on this. Really good job by Corey Hooks on this run. Just going right through the holes in the offensive line, doing a great job filling the holes here. And North Haven yet to have no gain on a play. They have gotten positive yards so far on each play. 2nd and 6 from the 25-yard line. Corey Hooks with Max Augustine behind center. There's the snap. He drops the ball, picks it up himself, finds a hole, shakes his defender, and he's got the first down. What a play by Corey Hooks. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Corey Hooks turned a positive from a negative to a positive there. Great play. Let's see that one again. That one has got to be seen again. He drops the ball. Good hole there to find. Breaks a send. Absolutely great play there. Great play. And that's a North Haven first down. This crowd is really into it so far. 1st and 10. With the ball inside the 20.
1st and 10 Indians inside the 20-yard line.
Going with Hooks again. Goes to the right side, trying to get off the defender, stiffs arms him, still on his feet. This kid is not going down easy so far in this game. He's looking very good so far. I mean, look at him. He's just carrying this Jesuits defense. Right there, stiff arm, carries him about 5, 6, 7 yards there. 2nd and 1 on the 9-yard carry. Justin White enters the game for North Haven. And again, it'll be Augustine with Corey Hooks. 2nd and 1 from the 9. There's a snap from Augustine, finds through the hole, and he is in the end zone for a touchdown. Touchdown, Indians! Great job. This offensive line is looking really strong here. I mean, they're just finding hole after hole after hole, making it very easy for this running back core to get positive yards and leading to a touchdown there. North Haven driving about 65 yards on their first drive of the game, getting 6 points and leading this one with under 6 minutes to go in the first quarter. The extra point is good, and a good way to start the 2019 season. They lead 7-0. You're watching Friday Night Football on NHTV.
HB Communications, 60 Dodge Avenue, North Haven. Since 1946, specializing in audio-video solutions, including video conferencing, unified communications, digital signage, and more. HB Communications.
North Haven Funeral Home, 36 Washington Avenue, North Haven. Since 1953, the one source families rely on for caring, compassionate service. North Haven Funeral Home.
The Landing of North Haven, offering personalized assisted living and memory care service. They feature a highly trained staff and activities prioritizing health and wellness. The Landing of North Haven, a warm, friendly, and welcoming environment at 201 Clintonville Road.
After the 9-yard run from Max Augustine. So it'll be Hopkins and Smith again, back deep for Fairfield Prep. After this kickoff, I want to go back to this play. I mean, this really shows how this first drive looked for North Haven. It's a short kick, though, and this one might end out of bounds, and that is not good. That's an illegal kick, and that's going to get good field position for Fairfield Prep there. Now look at this. Just they're opening up a hole right up the middle the entire first drive, right between that guard and center the entire time in that first drive, and that you saw it right there on that last drive to give the touchdown for North Haven.
For the game, QC Electric was signing up to sponsor the event and pay for all the merchandise.
So Fairfield Prep went 3 and out in their first drive here.
Generosity for his sponsorship of tonight's whiteout event.
John Iropoli looking to get this offense moving for the Jesuits. A lot of spread offense for Fairfield Prep. Very different offensive approaches for both teams. This time they're going to go with the handoff here, and he stopped behind. No, he breaks the tackle, and he's able to keep it at a yard. What looked like was a loss for 3 yards ends up with a gain of 1 yard. That was a good run there for Fairfield Prep. Sean Nelson breaking a tackle or two and ending up getting some positive yards for the Jesuits. And it'll be 2nd down and about 7 or 8. Dean Zerenides is now the running back for the Jesuits. Man in motion. They give it to the man in motion. Breaks through. That's Max McGillicuddy getting about 6 or 7 yards on that play. They'll be short of the first down marker.
Picks up about 6 yards on the play. Timeout on the field for an equipment issue. Ladies and gentlemen, our snack bar is open.
Great use of the man in motion here, Max McGillicuddy. So this guy can do it all. He can run, he can catch. He's going to be a big part of this offense for Fairfield Prep. So North Haven really has to keep an eye on number 25, Max McGillicuddy. 3rd and 2. They got 3 wide receivers on the near side, only 2 backs. They got a man open, and he's open for the first down there. I mean, there was a man uncovered here on the near side of the ball, makes it a wide open shot there for Iropoli to get the first down. So Fairfield Prep now crosses the 50-yard line. And it's 1st and 10. Iropoli gets a snap, hands it up to Deserenides. Crosses the 40. So very different approach for Fairfield Prep as opposed to North Haven. Fairfield Prep working the outside game where North Haven used the inside game to get the ball moving. And also you're seeing a mixed approach with Fairfield Prep where they're using both passing and running. Dean Serenides picking up about 5 yards on the play. 2nd down and 5. A lot of room here as Iropoli looks to pass. Has pressure, taken out of the pocket. They're chasing him out of bounds, and he's pushed out of bounds. Maybe got a yard, not quite sure. He did get a yard on that play. But a good job there by Luke Maruka chasing the quarterback out of the play there. And that's the name of the game here. You got to win in the trenches, and so far North Haven on both sides of the ball have been doing a good job between the tackles in the line of scrimmage. Now North Haven using a 3-4 defense. 3 defensive linemen on the front with 4 linebackers. And we have 3rd and 3. Serenides moves to the right side, and we have a flag. That's going to be a delay of game against Fairfield Prep. So now, instead of it being 3rd and manageable, it's now 3rd and 8. Now it makes it a 3rd and long. You would think this is a passing down for Fairfield Prep. Now, they do have the weapons to convert this 3rd down and 8, but North Haven has been doing a good job so far breaking through the offensive line that you would think maybe some kind of pressure would be applied here to Iropoli. 3rd and 8 from the 43. There's the snap. Iropoli rolls out. They bring a defensive back in on the blitz. High snap, high throw, and that one is out of bounds. 4th down, and Fairfield Prep will have to punt again. Good job there by the North Haven defense.
And it looks like
you see the pressure there from number 4. And we do have a flag on the play. And I believe they're going to call an illegal man downfield against Fairfield Prep, which if that's the case, they should decline and make it 4th down. Yes, they will decline it. It was against Fairfield Prep, so illegal
man downfield during the pass. North Haven declines the penalty, so that'll be bring up 4th down.
North Haven leading this one 7-0. 3.5 minutes to go in the first quarter. We'd like to thank you all for watching on NHTV, and if you're watching live on Facebook, thank you very much for joining us here on the first Friday night of the evening of the season. And Fairfield Prep's going to take a timeout, so we'll take a timeout too. Again, North Haven leads 7-0 with 3.5 to go in the first quarter. You're watching Friday Night Football on NHTV.
Arnold's Jewelers, the North Haven Diamond Center, 117 Washington Avenue in North Haven. Decades of experience and a deep commitment to the North Haven community. Visit us today at thearnoldsjewelers.com. Forget-Me-Not Florist, 39 State Street, North Haven. A true full-service flower shop providing same-day delivery. Whether it's birthdays, anniversaries, or sympathy, Forget-Me-Not is there for you.
HB Communications, 60 Dodge Avenue, North Haven. Since 1946, specializing in audio-video solutions, including video conferencing, unified communications, digital signage, and more. HB Communications.
7-0 North Haven leads. A good snap there for the punt. Good hang time. A little short though, and it will end up down at the 11-yard line. So better field position for Fairfield Prep this time than last time. So North Haven dominated in the first drive between the tackles, doing a really good job. Corey Hooks really carrying it for North Haven, but then Max Augustine punched it in for a 9-yard touchdown run, giving North Haven a 7-0 lead. Look for that to continue here for North Haven. Fighting through the trenches, a really good job between the right guard and the center in that first drive. Let's see if it continues here. 1st and 10. And it's a direct snap going through that hole, but he has to dodge out, and they stop him this time. Williston was the carrier on that one. Yeah, they tried going between the tackle or the guard and the center, but the Jesuits were smart enough on that one, filled up the gap, and he had nowhere to go. So it's 2nd and 10. That's the first time North Haven has gone without a gain. The first drive, every play was for positive yards. So 2nd and 10 for North Haven. No wide receivers in the formation again. And they go to the right side again, punching through and getting a first down. Corey Hooks again. Just doing a good job right between the guard and the center again. Right there. And Corey Hooks is doing a really good job just carrying these Jesuits on his back. You know, one thing that makes a good running back a great running back is being able to gain more yards after contact, and Corey Hooks is doing that. He's been showing stiff arms, he's been breaking tackles, and he's been carrying guys on his back throughout this first quarter. 1st and 10. Hooks hands this one off, and he's going to get stuffed. Nowhere to go on that play. Nowhere to go. Now that's a play North Haven likes to use a lot, where they direct snap to the back and then try to use that single wing I guess the tight end at that point. It's hard to really decipher who's who in a single wing offense.
Loss of 2 on the play. So
but on that case, that was a loss of 2 yards, so it would be 2nd and 12. And this time they're going to run to the outside, but he pops into a hole and counters and gets some positive yards there. Corey Hooks again gets some yards back there. And again, this is just good running here. You see here, they're already starting to form that hole for Corey Hooks, and he finds it. He finds it right there and gets 6 yards on the play. Third and 5. Under a minute to go in the first quarter. Hooks going to the right side again. Hits another tackle and got a first down. Again, more yards after contact. Corey Hooks is doing a really good job pounding over this Jesuits defense, and it's another first down for the Indians. Just look at what he's doing here. Got a good hole set up by the offensive line. Has a couple Jesuits on his back before he carries them for a couple yards, and he carries the chains over. 1st and 10 for North Haven. This could be the final play of the first quarter. 1st and 10 from the 34. This one goes up the middle and really does nothing there. That was Max Augustine. Maybe got a half a yard on that one. And that's going to be the end of the first quarter here. North Haven looking really strong on both sides of the ball. And so far they've passed the test against the Fairfield Prep Jesuits. After 1 quarter of play, they lead 7-0. You're watching Friday Night Football on NHTV.
HB Communications, 60 Dodge Avenue, North Haven. Since 1946, specializing in audio-video solutions, including video conferencing, unified communications, digital signage, and more. HB Communications.
North Haven Funeral Home, 36 Washington Avenue, North Haven. Since 1953, the one source families rely on for caring, compassionate service. North Haven Funeral Home.
The Landing of North Haven, offering personalized assisted living and memory care service. They feature a highly trained staff and activities prioritizing health and wellness. The Landing of North Haven, a warm, friendly, and welcoming environment at 201 Clintonville Road.
Arnold's Jewelers, the North Haven Diamond Center, 117 Washington Avenue in North Haven. Decades of experience and a deep commitment to the North Haven community. Visit us today at thearnoldsjewelers.com. Forget-Me-Not Florist, 39 State Street, North Haven. A true full-service flower shop providing same-day delivery. Whether it's birthdays, anniversaries, or sympathy, Forget-Me-Not is there for you.
Subway, Universal Drive, North Haven. Locally owned and operated, featuring delicious subs, wraps, salads, and all of your catering needs. Subway, Universal Drive next to Home Depot in North Haven.
HB Communications, 60 Dodge Avenue, North Haven. Since 1946, specializing in audio-video solutions, including video conferencing, unified communications, digital signage, and more. HB Communications.
North Haven.
We start the second quarter of play with North Haven leading 7-0. Corey Hooks really carrying this North Haven offense, but it was Max Augustine that punched it in for the touchdown on their first drive of the game, and North Haven currently moving along here on their second drive of the game. So it's 2nd and 10 to start this second quarter. This time they go to the left side, cross the 40-yard line. That was Max Augustine.
The 41-yard line.
Getting it to the 41, so about a gain of 7 on the play. So a little different approach here on this play. Going on the left side, on the outside of the tackles. And this North Haven offensive line, give them a lot of credit so far, given the holes necessary to get positive yards for this running game. It's 3rd and 3, a very manageable third down here for North Haven. Snap, goes to Hooks. Hooks finds a hole, breaks a tackle, he's got the first down. I mean, he's doing a good job getting extra yards after contact, but look at this offensive line. How many yards he got before contact was even made. Look at that hole they gave him. Absolutely beautiful football playing here by the offensive line for North Haven to start this second quarter. So again, another first down as the chains are moved after a Corey Hooks carry. 1st and 10 for North Haven. Snap to Augustine. Gets to the 50. And again, another big hole for North Haven, helping the running backs get to where they need, and they cross midfield on that play. So for the second time in as many drives, North Haven is in Fairfield prep territory. Beautiful night for football as we start the 2019 North Haven football season. Again, thank you all for joining us here on NHTV, and if you're watching on Facebook Live, my name is Michael Valenti as we get 2nd and 5 as Corey Hooks gets the carry for about 2 yards on the play. Very impressive night so far for Corey Hooks. This is going to be easily a 100-yard game for Corey Hooks if he continues this pace. 3rd and 4 from the 48-yard line. Both crowds are trying to amp up here on this big 3rd down and 4. Hooks loses his feet and he gets trounced there by the Jesuits defense. And now before the play, it looked like they were going to show blitz. They knew what was coming. You see it? Where is it? Right there. You saw the movement right there. They knew what was coming. Hooks loses his footing, and he's stuffed at the line of scrimmage. So it's 4th and 4. And what looked like was going to be a very good drive for North Haven ends with a punt.
Chase DiCarlo will punt for the Indians.
So Chase DiCarlo will punt to McGillicuddy.
Next, McGillicuddy back to receive. For Prep.
High punt goes way over DiCarlo's head. Not good. He dives on the ball, just gets possession there. Wow. That is a huge mistake there for North Haven and gives excellent field position inside the 20-yard line for Fairfield Prep. That's the kind of thing that could turn an entire game around. Just when you thought DiCarlo could have a good punt there and pin Fairfield Prep inside the 20, it ends up a bad snap going inside North Haven's 20-yard line. A big test here for the North Haven defense. So far, they have passed on their test against this Jesuits offense. The defensive line doing good, applying pressure. Handoff to Nelson. He gets a few yards on that play. And we have a stoppage of play. Nelson loses his helmet there, so he'll come off the field. Serenities will come in to replace Nelson. The running back position, a big part of Fairfield Prep's offense last year. They scored 21 rushing touchdowns last year. However, 18 of those from seniors last year that graduated. So basically a new running back core for Fairfield Prep. 2nd and 8. Handoff, wide open hole for Serenities. And he is right around the first down marker. It's going to be close here. Serenity's doing a really good job of that offensive line for the first time, pushing the defensive line of North Haven, getting a big open gap for Fairfield Prep. And it's going to be it is a Prep first down, so it's 1st and goal for Fairfield Prep. They are a touchdown and an extra point away from tying this game up. And they continue the spread offense here. 1st and goal. Snap. Hand off to Serenities. He's hit. The ball is loose, and it's picked up by North Haven. Wow, look at that. After a huge mistake made on the long snap overthrow, North Haven's defense picks them right back up, and they get a huge fumble there on 1st and goal. What a hit. That forces the fumble. Right there, just punching that ball out. Got to do a better job protecting that football, especially on a 1st and goal situation. So North Haven's defense picking up the special teams there. 1st and 10, North Haven. So they'll start at the 14-yard line. This one will be swung to the outside. Hooks gets hit and pushed out of bounds. Was able to shake off one defender before he was pushed out of bounds, though. Now that was a hit. Had some Indians talking about that too. Man, that's a hit right there. That will pump anybody up in a football game, a hit like that. 2nd and 7.
Second down and 7 for North Haven.
Snap is a direct snap. And they get maybe a yard. Jeff Williston was the carrier there. Oh no. Corey Hooks is on the ground, injured. That's not good. Well, North Haven takes a timeout for the injury. We'll take a timeout here. They lead 7-0. You're watching North Haven High School football on NHTV.
Funeral Home, 36 Washington Avenue, North Haven. Since 1953, the one source families rely on for caring, compassionate service. North Haven Funeral Home.
The Landing of North Haven, offering personalized assisted living and memory care service. They feature a highly trained staff and activities prioritizing health and wellness. The Landing of North Haven, a warm, friendly, and welcoming environment at 201 Clintonville Road.
Arnold's Jewelers, the North Haven Diamond Center, 117 Washington Avenue in North Haven. Decades of experience and a deep commitment to the North Haven community. Visit us today at thearnoldsjewelers.com.
So Corey Hooks was the injured player on that one, and we'll look at the replay and see exactly what happened. It appears to be a right ankle or right foot injury. So you'll see on the bottom right corner of the screen here, he's diving into the offensive lineman there, and as he's falling, the lineman lands right on his leg, and that's where the injury occurred. If we get any updates on the injury, we'll let you know. He is being looked at right now. 1st and 10, Justin White looks to throw. The pass is complete, and he is wide open. He's got the first down and a little extra. He's inside the 35-yard line. What a pass there. Wow. A great play for North Haven, moving the chains, totally unexpected. The first pass of the season is complete, and they get a big gain there. Beautiful play. 1st and 10. It's a direct snap. Augustine tries to circle around. He'll step out of bounds. Gets a short gain on that play. Not much. But again, North Haven doing a good job of positive yards. Now in the first drive, maybe in a little bit of the second drive as well, they were really moving the ball in between the tackles, but we're seeing a little bit of the outside game in this last drive. We're seeing a lot of bootlegs. Obviously the pass from Justin White for the first down. 2nd and 8. 6:20 to go in the the second quarter. White looks to drop back. He's got time in the pocket. He's got a man open. It's caught. It is caught. What a play. I mean, give credit to this offensive line. Look how much time he has in this pocket. Look at this. So Justin White, he gets a snap. 1, 2, 3, 4 seconds before he even throws the ball, and the secondary leaving the man wide open for the first down. Beautiful play. Exactly how you want that one written. Justin White has looked good in his 2 passes so far in this short season for the Indians. 1st and 10. Hooks, who was just injured, back in the game, goes to the outside, has some yards, close to the 1st yard. Looks like the injury was absolutely nothing. He looked good on that run, keeping the ball moving. Gets 9, maybe 10 on the play. Let's see where they marked it. It looks like they're going to measure. This one's close.
And they're checking the spot of the ball. And they're going to ask for a measurement.
So just when you thought things were not looking good as Corey Hooks left the game with an injury, Justin White picks it up with 2 huge passing plays. Corey Hooks comes back into this game with 9 yards, maybe 10, and they're inside the 25 regardless. That's a first down.
And that spot's good enough for a North Haven first down.
Just when you thought there was a question about this running game for the North Haven Indians with Nick Dodge and Devin Brockemer leaving after graduating last year, Corey Hooks has answered the critics so far in this first half. 1st and 10. This one to Augustine, trying to punch it between the tackles. Gets a couple yards, but not much.
Picks up a couple of yards.
Augustine comes off the field looking a little banged up in his arm. Might have hit the funny bone as he was getting hit there. Second down and 8. Williston is the back with Hooks. Hooks gets the carry. Punching through and another couple extra yards after contact.
Gave about 6 on that play.
Just look at, they're just doing a really good job opening holes for this running game, getting positive yards with every carry that they have.
Third down and about 2 yards to go from the 15.
Coach Sagnelli, before the season started, saying that he has one of the most experienced and biggest offensive lines he's seen in North Haven, and so far it is showing. 3rd and 3. Hooks
Hooks on the carry.
has an open hole. He's going to be close.
Close to the first down.
This one could be measurable. But again, he has the open hole, but the Jesuits did a good job closing this one up quick. So they're going to go to the right side on this play as they go to the measurement. Let's look at this play here. Again, they're trying to go for the guard tackle hole here. Good block there to give Corey Hooks those extra yards that he needs to get close to the first down marker. And after measuring, it is short.
So it's going to be 4th and less than a yard to go. For the
So they do have DiCarlo, who had 3 field goals that were good last year, but the way North Haven's offense is looking right now, it looks like they are going to go for it. But a timeout is called. And it is North Haven. Coach Sagnelli wants to make sure he has the right play in this situation, so we'll take a timeout. 7-0 Indians lead. You're watching Friday Night Football on NHTV.
Arnold's Jewelers, the North Haven Diamond Center, 117 Washington Avenue in North Haven. Decades of experience and a deep commitment to the North Haven community. Visit us today at thearnoldsjewelers.com.
Subway, Universal Drive, North Haven. Locally owned and operated, featuring delicious subs, wraps, salads, and all of your catering needs. Subway, Universal Drive next to Home Depot in North Haven.
Forget-Me-Not Florist, 39 State Street, North Haven. A true full-service flower shop providing same-day delivery. Whether it's birthdays, anniversaries, or sympathy, Forget-Me-Not is there for you.
HB Communications, 60 Dodge Avenue, North Haven. Since 1946, specializing in audio-video solutions, including video conferencing, unified communications, digital signage, and more. HB Communications.
North Haven Funeral Home, 36 Washington Avenue, North Haven. Since 1953, the one source families rely on for caring, compassionate service. North Haven Funeral Home.
A big 4th and 1. It will be Corey Hooks and Max Augustine on the play. It goes to Augustine. He dives, and he's got the first down, but did they lose the football?
Looks like there was a turnover on the play.
I don't know. The Jesuits are saying they recovered a fumble.
The signal is Fairfield Prep ball.
Fairfield Prep recovered the fumble. Augustine had the first down. That is a huge blow for North Haven's offense. I didn't even see the ball come out. He dives for it. He must have lost it in the pile as he was diving for the first down and went right into the hands of a Jesuits defender. 2 big fumbles inside the 20 on back-to-back drives. Fairfield Prep losing it first, and North Haven giving it right back. 1st and 10. And we have a whistle blown dead before the snap. Legal procedure looks like against Fairfield Prep, so they're going to be pinned inside the 10-yard line now due to that penalty. So North Haven will start, or excuse me, Fairfield Prep will start inside the 10-yard line, 1st and 15. It's a play action fake. He's got time. He's going to take it himself out of Poli. He gets a couple yards on that play. He had the time, but I will say the secondary doing a good job covering the defenders, not giving Iropoli anybody to throw to. So yeah, it looks everybody's covered. Everybody is covered, so Iropoli has to carry it himself. And this was one of the things that was going to be a test for North Haven heading into this year. They have a young secondary, and that was a big play right there where Iropoli had a lot of time in the pocket to get a pass, and he just didn't. Iropoli looks to throw again. This pass is complete, just short of the first down marker. McGillicuddy gets the possession on that one. Now, one thing that you could say is a positive on this play, there were two guys there. They should have covered him, but at the same time, he didn't break out for a big play. Iropoli could have made a better throw as McGillicuddy had to dive out of bounds to catch that one. So it's 3rd and 1 for Fairfield Prep. After 2 straight passes, do they go with the run? No, Iropoli will pass. He's got time. Gets flushed out of the pocket. The pass to McGillicuddy is complete to the 40, and he is hit and dropped at the 45-yard line. Joe Ertel with the tackle there, and this is not what you want if you're North Haven's defense. A lot of time in that pocket. 3, 4, no pressure there. Wide open McGillicuddy. That's where the experience of McGillicuddy shows up against this inexperienced secondary against North Haven. Big gain there, 1st down for Fairfield Prep. Iropoli looking to throw again. The pass complete inside, a little thrown behind him, but he's got a 1st down again. Look how much room is here on this play. Giving him like 5-6 yards on that pass, and he goes back. Before he even gets hit, he's already got the 1st down. So the secondary might need to press up on this wide receiver core. Iropoli looks to his left again. The pass complete to McGillicuddy.
Pass again complete. Down to the 35-yard line.
So again, another pass complete, and now we're starting to see the Jesuits offense starting to click here, and it might be the passing game that might help them try to get into the end zone and tie this game up at 7. 90 seconds left in the half. Iropoli looks to throw again. Has to get flushed out, and he is dropped. Now that one was a great job by the defensive line there. Closing in on the pocket. Iropoli had to rush, trying to get out of there, but he just couldn't, and the pocket just collapsed on him. That's what you want from the defensive line right there, and they did a tremendous job. Clock continues to run on top of that. So we're under a minute. Fairfield Prep trying to score before the half closes.
3rd down and about 2.
3rd and 2. And we're going to have a flag there. It looks like I think we had one of the linebackers on the outside trying to snuck up a little too fudge and ended up with encroachment. So that's going to move the chains. So that's a big penalty to have, and Coach Sagnella can't be too happy about that one. That is a big penalty to commit deep in this second quarter. And on top of that, it stops the clock.
The ball will be spotted at the 30-yard line.
So 1st and 10 from the 30-yard line. Iropoli drops back, looks to his right. The pass is to McGillicuddy, but thrown a little too high. Could have taken his time with that, but I think the pressure that North Haven's defense has given him throughout this game made him rush on that play. Take a look at the replay again. Had plenty of time, had the look, had the coverage and everything, but he might have heard footsteps and rushed the throw a little bit. McGillicuddy did have his hands on the ball, so I always believe if your hands touch the ball, it's a catchable ball. But still, this defense causing problems for Fairfield Prep. 2nd and 10. Irapoli rolls out to his right, looks right, has a man that could hit him. The pass, dives, incomplete.
And the pass is incomplete. David plays on there at the top. So it's going to bring a 3rd and 10 for the Jesuits.
3rd and 10 from the 30-yard line. You would think this is 4-down territory, especially in high school football where not many experienced kickers can kick a 47-yard field goal from where the ball is right now. Irapoli with the spread offense again. His lone setback is Nelson. 3rd and 10. North Haven is up. They're loud. Here's the throw. Up the middle. Incomplete. Irapoli needs to do a better job of hitting his receivers on this one. I mean, he's got time. The Jesuits are giving him time in the pocket. So Fairfield Prep will call a timeout. 4th and 10. This is a huge 4th down here. With 33 seconds to go, you're going to have to develop a play that not only gets them the first down, but gets them to find a way to get out of bounds. That is Fairfield Prep's first timeout, so they still have 2 remaining. So even if they get the first timeout and don't get out of bounds, they can still use one of those timeouts. While we have this break in the action, I want to thank everybody for joining us here on NHTV, also on Facebook Live. If you're watching on Facebook Live, give us a like, comment on the game. I know you guys are. My name is Michael Valenti, your play-by-play announcer for the 2019 season of North Haven High School football on NHTV. All the home games this year will be broadcast on NHTV and live on Facebook. 4th and 10 as the Jesuits try to move the chains, trailing by 7.
So 4th and 10 for Prep at the 30-yard line.
Man in motion. Irapoli looks to the lone receiver on the left side. He loses his footing. It was McGillicuddy, the intended receiver, and it's a turnover on downs.
Pass is incomplete, so North Haven will take over.
I mean, the throw could have been there. McGillicuddy slipping on the wet grass on the field. I mean, there were some Indians in the field of play around that throw, but I think a good throw could have converted that first down if McGillicuddy did not lose his footing. So the North Haven Indians go in victory formation, drop a knee to end this first half. A nearly perfect first half for the North Haven Indians. They could have made this one at least 13-0, but caused a fumble as Max Augustine went for 4th and 1, diving for the ball, dropping it. Fairfield Prep marching through, but falls just short on a turnover on downs. And here we are as North Haven drops the knee, and that will be the end of the first half. A very competitive game between the North Haven Indians and the Fairfield Prep Jesuits. After 2 quarters, we go to the half, North Haven leading 7-0. You're watching Friday Night Football on NHTV. When we come back, the halftime report.
North Haven Funeral Home, 36 Washington Avenue, North Haven. Since 1953, the one source families rely on for caring, compassionate service. North Haven Funeral Home.
The Landing of North Haven, offering personalized assisted living and memory care service. They feature a highly trained staff and activities prioritizing health and wellness. The Landing of North Haven, a warm, friendly, and welcoming environment at 201 Clintonville Road.
Arnold's Jewelers, the North Haven Diamond Center, 117 Washington Avenue in North Haven. Decades of experience and a deep commitment to the North Haven community. Visit us today at thearnoldsjewelers.com. Forget-Me-Not Florist, 39 State Street, North Haven. A true full-service flower shop providing same-day delivery. Whether it's birthdays, anniversaries, or sympathy, Forget-Me-Not is there for you.
HB Communications, 60 Dodge Avenue, North Haven. Since 1946, specializing in audio-video solutions, including video conferencing, unified communications, digital signage, and more. HB Communications.
Subway, Universal Drive, North Haven. Locally owned and operated, featuring delicious subs, wraps, salads, and all of your catering needs. Subway, Universal Drive next to Home Depot in North Haven.
At the half, North Haven leads this one 7-0. You're watching North Haven High School football on NHTV and live on Facebook. My name is Michael Valenti, and we have ourselves a very, very intense game so far. North Haven, so far, I mean, yes, this is a close game, but I think they've been really winning the battle at the line. The defensive line has applied pressure to Iropoli to the point where I don't think he's really confident in his passes so far. He's had a couple that, could have been good throws. He had time in the pocket, but because of what happened prior, getting that pressure, Iropoli has had some time, has had some throws that were a little offline and caused some incompletions, some big incompletions, especially on that last drive there before the half. McGillicuddy could have had a first down to move the chains and possibly get Fairfield Prep into scoring range before the half, but he loses his footing on the grass and ends up with a turnover on downs, and North Haven still leading this one 7-0 after that. The offensive line for North Haven has looked really, really good. Really making holes between the tackles for North Haven. In fact, really giving Corey Hooks a good first half. He might have over 100 yards already. I don't have the exact number in front of me, but we tried to do the math quickly. He's close. He's at least at 90 yards, over 90 yards on his carries. And I mean, Corey Hooks has looked really, really good. Max Augustine getting the touchdown in the first drive of the game from 9 yards out. He did have a big fumble that eventually led to nothing for Fairfield Prep, though. It was 4th and 1 inside the 20-yard line. Max Augustine trying to dive for the first down, and I guess in the process, the ball got lost in the pile, and Fairfield Prep ended up getting the football there. A ball that would have been a first down run for North Haven, and who knows what the outcome of this game would be if North Haven actually converted that first down, didn't lose that fumble. We could be seeing a 14-0 game. So there's a lot of what-ifs in this game. I mean, yes, it's 7-0, but this game could be 21-0. This game could be tied at 7. This game could be tied at 14. I think both teams have done well in some aspects, but also at the same time, there have been some moments where there were some big mistakes, including a fumble inside the 20 for both teams, a botched snap on a punt for North Haven. This game is far from over as we head into the second half of this game. Now, North Haven deferred in the first half, so they will start with the ball in the second half. So hopefully they can take that first drive, continue what they're doing in this first half, continue what they did in the first half into the second half to extend their lead and get a W out of Vandercourt Field, start their season 1-0. But it's going to be tough. Again, Iropoli, if he could get things into gear here, can he get that passing offense clicking? Maybe open up the running game. They do have that spread offense, so gives them opportunities to spread that defense out, open some things for the running game, whether it is Sean Nelson or Dean Serenities. Haven't really heard much of them in the running game so far, but if North Haven can continue their pressure up front on Iropoli, I think North Haven has a very good chance at opening this game up and making this a victory for the North Haven Indians. Now, Fairfield Prep, on the other hand, while they're basically what they need to do is close up those holes in between the tackles. The offensive line for North Haven is doing a tremendous job opening up those holes, specifically the right hole between the guard and the tackle, and the guard and the center. Those two holes right there, Corey Hooks, Max Augustine, whoever you want to use in those situations, have been finding holes in those runs, getting 5, 6, 7 big yards. And they also showed you that if they don't want to run the ball, they will be willing to pass the ball. 2 big gains from the air from Justin White earlier in this game. So don't sleep on the passing game for the Indians right now as we head into the second half. Time is of the essence for both teams. Who is going to control that clock? If North Haven can continue the running game, continue to move the ball, that kills the clock and keeps Fairfield Prep's offense off the field. Now, the passing game, again, like I said, needs to really get things going for Fairfield Prep as we start the second half. Aeropoli has got to start hitting his receivers. He has time in the pocket, let plays develop, but the secondary of North Haven has done a good job so far on their first test of this 2019 season. So they've covered very well. The pressure has been on Aeropoli. So we'll see what happens in the second half, which will be coming up in about 9.5 minutes. So we'll be back then when we start the second half. Again, the score 7-0. North Haven leads Fairfield Prep. You're watching Friday Night Football on NHTV.
Subway, Universal Drive, North Haven. Locally owned and operated, featuring delicious subs, wraps, salads, and all of your catering needs. Subway, Universal Drive next to Home Depot in North Haven.
HB Communications, 60 Dodge Avenue, North Haven. Since 1946, specializing in audio-video solutions, including video conferencing, unified communications, digital signage, and more. HB Communications.
North Haven Funeral Home, 36 Washington Avenue, North Haven. Since 1953, the one source families rely on for caring, compassionate service. North Haven Funeral Home.
The Landing of North Haven, offering personalized assisted living and memory care service. They feature a highly trained staff and activities prioritizing health and wellness. The Landing of North Haven, a warm, friendly, and welcoming environment at 201 Clintonville Road.
Arnold's Jewelers, the North Haven Diamond Center, 117 Washington Avenue in North Haven. Decades of experience and a deep commitment to the North Haven community. Visit us today at thearnoldsjewelers.com. Forget-Me-Not Florist, 39 State Street, North Haven. A true full-service flower shop providing same-day delivery. Whether it's birthdays, anniversaries, or sympathy, Forget-Me-Not is there for you.
HB Communications, 60 Dodge Avenue, North Haven. Since 1946, specializing in audio-video solutions, including video conferencing, unified communications, digital signage, and more. HB Communications.
North Haven Funeral Home, 36 Washington Avenue, North Haven. Since 1953, the one source families rely on for caring, compassionate service. North Haven Funeral Home.
The Landing of North Haven, offering personalized assisted living and memory care service. They feature a highly trained staff and activities prioritizing health and wellness. The Landing of North Haven, a warm, friendly, and welcoming environment at 201 Clintonville Road.
We get started for the second half here of play as North Haven will get the ball. Their first kickoff return of the season as Fairfield Prep has yet to score. 7-0 as we start the second half of play.
David Pace and Jaden Watson back to receive the kick.
It's a high end-over-end kick. Return caught inside the end zone, inside the 10, the 15, 20, 25. Hit just shy of the 30-yard line. It'll be dropped around the 29-yard line. A very good return to start the second half for the North Haven Indians. Good field position as we start the second half. Again, for the North Haven Indians, keep your eye on number 3, Corey Hooks, who had a very impressive first half. Very close, if not over 100 yards on the ground. First and 10 for the Indians. And it goes to Hooks.
Corey Hooks on the carry.
Doesn't get much, but still positive yards.
Gain of about 2.
Now this is the adjustments that we need to see from Fairfield Prep if they want to stay in this game, and that is close in those holes in between the tackles. And we do have an injury. One of the, it looks like one of the offensive linemen is hobbling off the field there. Justin White enters the game. He comes in for Corey Hooks. 2nd and 8. Always watch out for the passing game with Justin White in this game. Has a couple of 20-plus yard gains in the air. He gets the snap, rolls out. Pass is incomplete, in and out of the hands. Intended for Watson. So it'll be 3rd and 8 after the incompletion. Third and 8. Let's see what North Haven does here. Single wing offense. No wide receivers out. Flag before the snap. It looked like Hooks was going to go to roll out on the outside. And we have an illegal procedure. So that's now 3rd and 13. Do you play it safe here with a 7-point lead, or do you try going for the first down? Last year, North Haven only attempted 48 passes for the entire season. In 11 games, 48 passing attempts. And that's with Seamus Meehan, who had a pretty decent arm, and Jack Steinman before him. So they had the quarterbacks that could throw. The single wing offense just isn't a passing offense. But White is in the game at 3rd down. He looks to throw. The pass has an open receiver. He's got the first down. What a play there by Watson. It looked like he was going to be stopped short, but he breaks the tackle and moves the chains. Dumping it off there. There's the tackle. It looked like he was going to be brought down, but no. Gets about 5 extra yards and first down for North Haven.
Nice gain of 18 yards on that play. So it's going to be
So 18 yards on the play for North Haven. And it's 1st and 10. Hooks gets the snap. Goes to the outside. Has room. Gets to the outside sideline. First down. Little extra. It crosses midfield. So Corey Hooks is telling you that he can run from all sides of the field, inside, outside, and you're going to see it right here as he gets around to the outside, and your job right there is get to the sideline and just run straight once you get there, and that's what Corey Hooks did there. Bursting speed, getting the first down. Big chunks there on this first drive in the second half. Augustine trying to hold on to the ball this time as he tries to jump over the pile. Gets a couple yards, holds on to the ball.
gain of a yard. So it's 2nd down and 9.
2nd and 9. One thing about this single wing offense is it keeps the defense guessing because you never know who's going to get the ball. 1 minute you have Corey Hooks running to the outside, then you have Max Augustine running on the inside, then you have Justin White who comes into the game thinking you're going to get a pass, but then you have Corey Hooks going between the tackles, pushing through the Jesuits defense. Still going before forward progress is blown dead. I think all 22 men were in one spot and Corey Hooks was not going down. I mean, look at this. So you have Hooks Going between the center and guard again, pushing through,
Gain of 6 on the play.
getting 6 big yards, and it's 3rd and 3. Hooks and Augustine behind center. It will be Hooks to the right side. He's hit behind the line of scrimmage, and I think that's the first time the Jesuits defense will find an answer for Corey Hooks tonight.
It's going to bring up a 4th down for the Indians.
So it's 4th and about 4 or 5. So Coach Sagnella has a decision to make. Does he punt or does he go for it? Corey Hooks comes out of the game. Justin White is in the game. It looks like they are going for it. And we have a flag on the play. Fairfield Prep is signaling that they have a delay of game against North Haven. Keith Helstern, the head coach of Fairfield Prep, talking to the head official. So let's see what the call is. The game clock is, or the play clock is going to get reset.
No penalty on the
And I guess they're going to pick up the flag. So with that, North Haven will call a timeout. So we'll take a timeout too. 8:46 to go in the third. North Haven leads 7-0. You're watching Friday Night Football on NHTV.
North Haven Funeral Home, 36 Washington Avenue, North Haven. Since 1953, the one source families rely on for caring, compassionate service. North Haven Funeral Home. Subway, Universal Drive, North Haven. Locally owned and operated, featuring delicious subs, wraps, salads, and all of your catering needs. Subway, Universal Drive next to Home Depot in North Haven.
The Landing of North Haven, offering personalized assisted living and memory care service. They feature a highly trained staff and activities prioritizing health and wellness. The Landing of North Haven, a warm, friendly, and welcoming environment at 201 Clintonville Road.
Arnold.
So coming out of the timeout here, it is 4th and 3. North Haven did convert a 4th down, but it also resulted in a lost fumble on that play earlier in this game. They were inside the 20-yard line when that happened, so this could be a 14-0 game had that fumble did not happen. But here we go, big 4th down here for North Haven. Snap goes to White. Has pressure. Finds the man. It is. Are you kidding me? He caught that. He caught it. Are you kidding me? He juggled it like 5 times before he finally took possession of it. First down, Indians. With pressure, with man coverage. Look at that. Throwing off his back foot, throwing behind him, juggling. First down. What a play for the Indians. I don't think that's how it was drawn up in the playbook, but it still works. 1st and 10 for North Haven. Hooks between the guard and center again. And he gets it near the 15-yard line.
Gain of about 5 on the play.
Now that play that we saw on 4th and 3, that could be a turning point in this game. If North Haven doesn't convert, Fairfield Prep could be on their way to tying this game. There's the snap. Augustine finds a hole, gets through, and he's got the first down. And again, it's that hole that we've been seeing all night long. As you see it, take a look, right there. That big gap right there between the guard and center. He finds that hole, and that is the hole that North Haven has been using all night long. So they are inside the 10, first and goal at the 9. Their first drive of the first half ended with a touchdown from 9 yards out. Here's their second drive, first and goal from the 9. It is a direct snap. Justin White runs. He's close, but it'll be short. He gets a few yards, but still short of the goal line.
Half the yards necessary. Puts him to second and goal.
Second and goal for North Haven. Clock continues to run, so another positive in this drive is the clock runs. Nearly half the third quarter gone as a handoff trying to get in, but he is stopped just short of the goal line.
Jeff Williston on the carry.
Williston was the carrier there.
Just around the 5-yard line.
So we see this run here, and this is what the Jesuits have to do. They make the hole, and then once the hole is made, the Jesuits have to just clog up that hole before it's too late, and that time they did it before it was too late. Third and goal. Snap goes to Hooks. Hooks trying to punch through, and he's going to be short.
So it's going to be 4th and goal from the Indians around the 3.
So now a decision to be made. Do they go for the field goal? It looks like they will. Chase DiCarlo will attempt his first field goal of the season to make it 10-0 past the midway point of the third quarter.
Officials timeout. There's an injured player on the field.
And it looks like we have an injured player. And when we have this injury timeout, we'll take a break here too. 7-0. North Haven leads. You're watching Friday Night Football on NHTV.
Jewelers, the North Haven Diamond Center, 117 Washington Avenue in North Haven. Decades of experience and a deep commitment to the North Haven community. Visit us today at thearnoldsjewelers.com.
Subway, Universal Drive, North Haven. Locally owned and operated, featuring delicious subs, wraps, salads, and all of your catering needs. Subway, Universal Drive next to Home Depot in North Haven.
Forget-Me-Not Florist, 39 State Street, North Haven. A true full-service flower shop providing same-day delivery. Whether it's birthdays, anniversaries, or sympathy, Forget-Me-Not is there for you.
HB Communications, 60 Dodge Avenue, North Haven. Since 1946, specializing in audio-video solutions, including video conferencing, unified communications, digital signage, and more. HB Communications.
North Haven Funeral Home, 36 Washington Avenue, North Haven. Since 1953, the one source families rely on for caring, compassionate service. North Haven Funeral Home.
So the injured player again was Corey Hooks, but this time looks much better coming off the field than he did the last time there was an injury scare. North Haven will attempt the field goal here as Chase DiCarlo, who had 3 successful field goals last year, looks to make it 1 here. Good snap, good hold, kick is blocked. And on that play, the man who blocked it is down on the ground, and he might have injured his leg on that play. We'll take a break here. North Haven leads 7-0. You're watching Friday Night Football on NHTV.
The Landing of North Haven, offering personalized assisted living and memory care service. They feature a highly trained staff and activities prioritizing health and wellness. The Landing of North Haven, a warm, friendly, and welcoming environment at 201 Clintonville Road.
Arnold's Jewelers, the North Haven Diamond Center, 117 Washington Avenue in North Haven. Decades of experience and a deep commitment to the North Haven community. Visit us today at thearnoldsjewelers.com. Forget-Me-Not Florist, 39 State Street, North Haven. A true full-service flower shop providing same-day delivery. Whether it's birthdays, anniversaries, or sympathy, Forget-Me-Not is there for you.
HB Communications, 60 Dodge Avenue, North Haven. Since 1946, specializing in audio-video solutions, including video conferencing, unified communications, digital signage, and more. HB Communications.
North Haven Funeral Home, 36 Washington Avenue, North Haven. Since 1953, the one source families rely on for caring, compassionate service. North Haven Funeral Home.
So a blocked field goal gives Fairfield Prep a 1st and 10 from the 20. Joseph DeJesus, who blocked that kick, walks off the field fine. 1st and 10. Fairfield Prep, this is a drive to take advantage of. Test this passing defense for the Indians. But it'll be Arapoli under center. Handoff up the middle. And Nelson gets the first down, I think. He might be just short. And another injury. 3 injuries in as many plays. I don't know if this is cramps or odd hit. Yeah. It seems like Hooks, DeJesus, and now this injured player, I didn't quite see the number to identify, but it appears the leg cramps are kicking in. And tell you what, being in athletic games before and getting involved with cramps, they're not fun, especially late in games. You know, you try to hydrate yourself as much as you can, but sometimes even good hydration doesn't stop a cramp once in a while. So really the best thing you can do is stretch it out. Hopefully he'll be okay to return. He does have to sit at least one play out. Ten-yard run there for Fairfield Prep, moving the chains on the first play of this drive, their first drive of the second half. And we have a scoring update out of town while we have this break in the action. Hand at the half leads Notre Dame of West Haven 43-14. East Lyme leading West Hill 14-0 with about 11 minutes left. Sheehan scores another touchdown with 4 minutes to go in the third quarter. They lead Wilbur Cross 50-0. We have our first final, suspended after 3 quarters. Stonington beats Montville 40-34. And at halftime, Harding over Amity 14-12. So now play resumes, and we have our third quarter of action here. Just about 5 minutes to go. 1st and 10 for Fairfield Prep. Another handoff. This time he's stuffed behind the line of scrimmage. Jeffrey Williston was the first man on that one. Great play here by the defense. Williston looked like he was blitzing on the near side. Ended up losing a yard for Fairfield Prep, so it'll be 2nd and 11. Handoff. Nelson goes to the right side. He's open. He's got the first down, a little extra to the 45. Still on his feet to midfield. Crosses midfield. He's down at the 48-yard line. And Fairfield Prep is not dying just yet. They're still in this game. If there's a play that Fairfield Prep needed in this second half, that was the play right there. Big chunk of yardage crossing midfield. And they're 48 yards away from making this a one-point game. 1st and 10. 4 minutes to go in the third quarter. Again, Iropoli under center. Handoff. Goes to the fullback. Crosses the 45 and dropped it around the 42-yard line.
Nelson on the carry.
It was Nelson with the carry there. Nelson and Serenities in I formation. Hand off to Serenities. Get to the 40. So right now, they are sticking it right where it hurts, up the middle on these last couple of runs. And you see it right here with Serenities.
Third down at about 3.
Right now, it's just about getting the small yards. Any yards you can get is a positive for Fairfield Prep. 3rd and 3. Corey Hook slipping off the field again. I formation. So we're seeing more of a conservative approach for Fairfield Prep here in the second half. Uh-oh. That is huge. Huge penalty. And it looks like that's going to be encroachment against North Haven. And that's going to move the chains.
Fairfield Prep a first down.
And they're going to go no huddle from this. They're going to go quickly to the ball, let it set, and start the next play. I formation with 2 wide receivers again. Handoff. This time to Serenities. Getting to the 30-yard line. And now it looks like Fairfield Prep is moving North Haven's defense around here in the second half. Keeping that hole up the middle open. Getting positive yards for Serenities and Sean Nelson. Approaching 2 minutes left in this third quarter. 2nd and 5. Play action. Looking for McGillicuddy. It is caught! And he rolls it to the end zone, but they are not going to call it a touchdown. Nearly intercepted. He just mistimed that one. Oh, and that's what Iropoli needed. He had the time, had a good play, and just out of reach on that interception. 1st and goal from the 2-yard line. And the passing game looks good on that one. Hand off to Nelson. Touchdown. We're an extra point away from a tied game. And this is the story of the entire drive here. Up the middle. Hand off. Up the middle. Wide open. Touchdown. Now, they're an extra point away from tying this game. Touchdown is good.
Unsportsmanlike.
And unsportsmanlike conduct against Fairfield Prep. So that would be assessed on the kickoff. Or do they get a choice? Well, he's going to decide to take the position instead of the extra point distance. That call could be a factor in this game. Let's see if the extra point goes through. Urban, the kicker. Good snap, good hold, good kick. And through the uprights, we have a tie game. 90 seconds to go here in the third quarter. We're tied up at 7. You're watching Friday Night Football on NHTV.
North Haven Funeral Home, 36 Washington Avenue, North Haven. Since 1953, the one source families rely on for caring, compassionate service. North Haven Funeral Home.
The Landing of North Haven, offering personalized assisted living and memory care service. They feature a highly trained staff and activities prioritizing health and wellness. The Landing of North Haven, a warm, friendly, and welcoming environment at 201 Clintonville Road.
Arnold's Jewelers, the North Haven Diamond Center, 117 Washington Avenue in North Haven. Decades of experience and a deep commitment to the North Haven community. Visit us today at thearnoldsjewelers.com.
Subway, Universal Drive, North Haven. Locally owned and operated, featuring delicious subs, wraps, salads, and all of your catering needs. Subway, Universal Drive next to Home Depot in North Haven.
Forget-Me-Not Florist, 39 State Street, North Haven. A true full-service flower shop providing same-day delivery. Whether it's birthdays, anniversaries, or sympathy, Forget-Me-Not is there for you.
HB.
So North Haven deciding for field position instead of the distance on the extra point. And we have a tie game at 7. So Fairfield Prep will kick from the 25-yard line in a game that where field position is really going to matter here in the last 13 and a half minutes of this game. Coach Sagnella is saying, I want the field position. I'm trusting my offense to get us to where we need to go and get back this lead. Here's the kick. High end overhand kick will be returned to the 30, 35. Breaks the tackle to the 40, 45. Gets through to the 50. And that looks amazing for North Haven. After they decline the penalty for the extra field position, they now start their drive in Fairfield Prep territory, making Sagnella's decision looking really good. So they start at the 48-yard line on the very impressive return for North Haven. 1st and 10. Hooks with Augustine. It goes to Hooks. Hops over. Nowhere to go. And they clog up that gap that North Haven has done a really good job opening up this entire time. If you look at this one here, Hooks was trying to hop over linemen, just was nowhere. They knew exactly what was coming. The linebackers just fill that gap, and it'll be 2nd and 10. And it'll be a run to the outside, and he's dropped. So what looked like good field position for North Haven has answered with 2 rushes for no yards, and it's 3rd and 10. They try inside, they try outside. So now, what do they do here on 3rd down? Can't take too big of a risk, because if they turn the ball over or lose yardage, that's more for Fairfield Prep's favor here. 3rd and 10. It'll be a run. He loses his footing, able to pick it back up, and he finds a hole. He's got the first down. Turning a negative into a positive, and a huge positive on that run. It looked like he wanted to go inside that hole. He finds it. Actually, losing his footing might have actually helped his timing. Let that play develop, finding the hole and getting the yards he needs for the first down. And that is the last play of the 3rd quarter. 12 minutes ago in this one, we are tied up at 7. You're watching Friday Night Football on NHTV.
That was the final play of the 3rd quarter.
HB Communications, 60 Dodge Avenue, North Haven. Since 1946, specializing in audio-video solutions, including video conferencing, unified communications, digital signage, and more. HB Communications.
North Haven Funeral Home, 36 Washington Avenue, North Haven. Since 1953, the one source families rely on for caring, compassionate service. North Haven Funeral Home.
The Landing of North Haven, offering personalized assisted living and memory care service. They feature a highly trained staff and activities prioritizing health and wellness. The Landing of North Haven, a warm, friendly, and welcoming environment at 201 Clintonville Road.
Arnold's Jewelers, the North Haven Diamond Center, 117 Washington Avenue in North Haven. Decades of experience and a deep commitment to the North Haven community. Visit us today at thearnoldsjewelers.com.
Heading into the 4th quarter, we are tied here at 7. We thank you for watching on NHTV Friday Night Football and also through Facebook Live. My name is Michael Blanton. Let's look back at that last play before the start of the 4th quarter here. Impressive play by David Pace. You know, he slips here. You would think that's the end of the play, but no. He finds the hole, kicks it into second gear, gets the big first down needed, and North Haven is at the 35, 1st and 10. Direct snap, and again, stuffed. That was Watson. And this is the things that it's been a struggle so far in this second half for North Haven's running attack. It looks like the adjustments have been made by Fairfield Prep. They're filling the holes that North Haven was making in the first half, and the runs have been limited. Outside of that David Pace run, North Haven has done very little in the running game. Now, is this a question of fatigue kicking in as North Haven hit a wall, or adjustments made by Fairfield Prep, or a combination of the two? 2nd and 10. And a whistle blown before the snap. Delay a game against North Haven.
Delay a game called against the Indians.
So now 2nd and 15. The running game has not been working so far in this second half for North Haven. Do they opt for the pass here on 2nd and long? Rolling out is White. He's got pressure. Dumps it way over the head of the intended receiver. Kyle Rollier was the intended receiver. So it'll be 3rd and 15. This offense has completely stalled out here. So they bring in David Pace again. Fairfield Prep's traveling crowd is starting to get up and get loud as North Haven's crowd has gone silent. Now we hear both sides. Who is the louder crowd here? 3rd and 15. Pace has the run. Trying to get to the outside. Does he have it? No. He gets past the original line of scrimmage, but that's about it. I don't think, if I'm Sagnell, I won't go for it. I would try to punt it and pin it inside the 10. Field position is obviously a major concern here, as we saw earlier in this half where Coach Sagnella opted to decline a misconduct penalty to get that field position on the kickoff. So Chase DiCarlo does come in. He will punt. Now, in their only punt of this game, we had a botched snap, and North Haven's going to call a timeout. North Haven calls a timeout, so we'll take a timeout here too. Tied at 7, 11 minutes to go. You're watching Friday Night Football on NHTV.
Forget-Me-Not Florist, 39 State Street, North Haven. A true full-service flower shop providing same-day delivery. Whether it's birthdays, anniversaries, or sympathy, Forget-Me-Not is there for you.
Subway, Universal Drive, North Haven. Locally owned and operated, featuring delicious subs, wraps, salads, and all of your catering needs. Subway, Universal Drive next to Home Depot in North Haven.
HB Communications, 60 Dodge Avenue, North Haven. Since 1946, specializing in audio-video solutions, including video conferencing, unified communications, digital signage, and more. HB Communications.
North Haven Funeral Home, 36 Washington Avenue, North Haven. Since 1953, the one source families rely on for caring, compassionate service. North Haven Funeral Home.
4th and 6 coming out of the timeout. Chase DiCarlo will punt it. The last time we saw a punt, it went 35 yards over his head. High snap, but this time DiCarlo has it. A very high punt. It lands and bounces, but it goes into the end zone. So a huge, huge missed opportunity there. DiCarlo doing what he can to try to pin it inside the 5-yard line, but that bounce a little too strong as it goes into the end zone, as no one was there to retrieve it. So we'll start at the 20-yard line. Fairfield Prep looking to continue their success from their last drive. Try to get their first lead of this game. It was the running attack of Dean Zerenides and Sean Nelson combining, going up the middle for the majority of that drive to get them into the end zone, including the touchdown from Sean Nelson. 1st and 10. Handoff up the middle. And that time North Haven makes their adjustment, and he's stopped for maybe a yard or two. This game is going to come down to who has the ball last.
Serenity's the ball carrier.
Zerenides was the carrier. He gets 2 yards officially. 2nd and 8. And a handoff. This time inching a couple more yards on that one.
So it's going to be 3rd and 5.
So it's a 3rd and manageable, 5 yards. Third and 5 from the 25. If you really want to see how good your defense is going to be throughout the 2019 season, you see it on 3rd downs in the 4th quarter. Handoff. No, it's a play action fake. He's got a man deep open, throws it. It is complete to McGillicuddy. Crosses the 35 and into the 40-yard line. 1st down. It looked like they were handing it off, but a great play action play there by John Irapoli. Had a man deep, but because he was rushing, he probably couldn't get the oomph he needed to reach him, but finds McGillicuddy underneath and moves the chains. 1st down and 10. Handoff up the middle. Serenities gets about a couple yards before the Indians are there to stop them. Second and 7. Serenities picks up 3 yards on that play. And they are really driving it through the heart of this North Haven defense in this second half. Whatever they saw in the first half, they obviously are exposing it here in the second half. Pitch to Nelson. Hits, and he gets a couple more yards there, just shy of midfield. Even you see it here on this play. They're finding, this offensive line is pushing the defensive line around. Both teams with experienced offensive lines and defensive lines going into this game. The North Haven crowd getting loud on this 3rd and 3. Play action. Looks to throw. Short. So we saw North Haven on the last drive around this area looking, and they punted. Fairfield Prep are going to go for it on 4th and 3. They need to get to actually it's 4th and 2. They're at the 48-yard line. They have to get to the 50. They are taking their time with this one. Maybe they're trying to force a delay of game and set themselves back 5 yards for a better punt situation. No, they're not. I formation. And Fairfield Prep calls a timeout now. So we'll take a timeout too with 7.5 minutes to go. We're tied up at 7. You're watching Friday Night Football on NHTV.
North Haven Funeral Home, 36 Washington Avenue, North Haven. Since 1953, the one source families rely on for caring, compassionate service. North Haven Funeral Home.
The Landing of North Haven, offering personalized assisted living and memory care service. They feature a highly trained staff and activities prioritizing health and wellness. The Landing of North Haven, a warm, friendly, and welcoming environment at 201 Clintonville Road.
Subway, Universal Drive, North Haven. Locally owned and operated, featuring delicious subs, wraps, salads, and all of your catering needs. Subway, Universal Drive next to Home Depot in North Haven.
Arnold's Jewelers, the North Haven Diamond Center, 117 Washington Avenue in North Haven. Decades of experience and a deep commitment to the North Haven community. Visit us today at thearnoldsjewelers.com.
Fourth and 2 from the 48-yard line. Oh no! Oh no! Encroachment on the defense. That is one of the biggest no-nos. And if you're a defensive tackle, your face is in front of the ball. You have to know when the ball is snapped. You can't be jumping like that. That is a huge penalty to commit late in this fourth quarter. And handoff for about 7 yards there. And that could completely deflate the crowd here. Even in a tight game like this, 7-7, you see a penalty like that. That's a penalty right there that could cost the game. As Fairfield Prep is continuing to move on here. 2nd and 3. Handoff to Nelson. got the first down, a little extra, and he's pushed out of bounds around the 25-yard line. And now we're starting to see Fairfield Prep use their weight to their advantage. Nelson with a nice kick to the outside. Doesn't even get touched till he's finally pushed out of bounds there. A good 15 yards before he's even touched. What looked like North Haven dominating the first half offensively in the running game, it looks like Fairfield Prep has answered back here in the second half. A tale of two halves. 1st and 10 from the 25. Pitch to the outside. Serenities. They're trying to strip the ball from him. And the whistle is blown. And we got some extracurricular activity. Flags on the play. Now the question is, will they offset? Are they on North Haven or are they on Fairfield Prep? The officials will discuss. So Fairfield Prep gets an unsportsmanlike, and North Haven gets an unsportsmanlike. They're both dead ball fouls, so they offset.
On both teams for unsportsmanlike conduct.
So the play stands. It's a first down for Fairfield Prep. Or excuse me, 2nd and short. He just missed the first down marker. And just to clarify, we have personal fouls on both teams after the dead ball. So we have a dead ball foul on both sides, offset, first down. It is a first down.
So the gain on the play was still out for a first down, so it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Gophers at the 15-yard line.
Handoff goes to Nelson.
Nelson on the play.
And he gets a couple yards there. Now Fairfield Prep is moving on this North Haven defense. Inching closer and closer to the goal line. They've had a couple trips to the red zone before, one ending in a touchdown, one ending in a fumble. Serenities counters, trying to shake a defender, and he's hit just shy of the end zone. But it will be 1st and goal. Great run here by Dean Serenities. Shaking off a couple defenders. They could have hit him behind the line of scrimmage there, but Serenities doing a nice move, shaking off that defender. And it's 1st and goal. As this clock continues to run, North Haven might only have one more shot if Fairfield Prep manages to get into the end zone. Just over 5 minutes to go. Handoff. And he is in the end zone for a touchdown. Fairfield Prep leads.
That's a Fairfield Prep touchdown.
And just like we've been seeing in the second half for Fairfield Prep, running between the tackles.
Credit Max McGillicuddy with the touchdown.
McGillicuddy gets the touchdown. And an extra point gives them the 7-point lead. The extra point is good. So with 5 minutes to go in this game, Fairfield Prep takes the lead 14-7. You're watching Friday Night Football on NHTV.
Arnold's Jewelers, the North Haven Diamond Center, 117 Washington Avenue in North Haven. Decades of experience and a deep commitment to the North Haven community. Visit us today at thearnoldsjewelers.com. Forget-me-not florist, 39 State Street, North Haven, a true full-service flower shop providing same-day delivery. Whether it's birthdays, anniversaries, or sympathy, Forget-Me-Not is there for you.
HB Communications, 60 Dodge Avenue, North Haven. Since 1946, specializing in audio-video solutions, including video conferencing, unified communications, digital signage, and more. HB Communications.
.502 to go. Fairfield Prep leads 14-7 after the McGillicuddy touchdown. A big end-over-end kick will be returned from the 1-yard line. Gets it to about the 22-yard line. And it looks like the returner is injured on that play. And with the injury timeout, we'll take a timeout here too. 14-7. You're watching Friday Night Football on NHTV.
HB Communications, 60 Dodge Avenue, North Haven. Since 1946, specializing in audio-video solutions, including video conferencing, unified communications, digital signage, and more. HB Communications.
Subway, Universal Drive, North Haven. Locally owned and operated, featuring delicious subs, wraps, salads, and all of your catering needs. Subway, Universal Drive next to Home Depot in North Haven. North Haven Funeral Home, 36 Washington Avenue, North Haven. Since 1953, the one source families rely on for caring, compassionate service. North Haven Funeral Home.
The Landing of North Haven, offering personalized assisted living and memory care service. They feature a highly trained staff and activities prioritizing health and wellness. The Landing of North Haven, a warm, friendly, and welcoming environment at 201 Clintonville Road.
Jaden Watson was the injured player, and he walks off the field. So it'll be 1st and 10 for North Haven, just under 5 minutes to go. They only have one timeout. So this could be their only shot at tying this game. They fake hooks. He throws, and he misses the man. Pace was the intended receiver, and he had him, but Pace looked like he lost his footing. They had Fairfield Prep beat. Hooks throws off his back foot as he was about to get hit, but also Pace losing his feet, and he's had a tough time with this grass tonight. That's his second time he's lost his footing in this game. If you're going to take a shot, why not there on 1st and 10? Had him beat, but now the crowd is getting loud. There's a pass from White. It is complete. Pace, and now he cramps up. You know, a lot of cramping on this field tonight. Both teams have had several players tonight down with muscle cramps and their legs. And I mean, I see the water cart is out at all times, so it's not like these kids are not hydrating. But I guess it's the first game of the season, so maybe some guys are not quite at game shape yet. I don't know. But it is a very physical game as well, so it is going to take a toll on your body as well. A very long 3rd and 2 for North Haven. Hooks trying to get to the outside. He's pushed out of bounds. Looked like they were looking for a hit after out of bounds, or even a headshot. Sagnella right up in the official's face there. No yards on the play, so it is 4th and 2. They're going to go for it. I mean, at this point they have to. Trailing by 7, only one timeout. So even if you punt it, you're not sure if you're going to get that ball back. The question is, what do you call? North Haven has been going to Corey Hooks a lot tonight, but it seems like Fairfield Prep has an answer for him. They go to Hooks. He tries. He breaks through the hole. He's got a first down. First down, North Haven. It looked like he was going to go for that hole that has been working all night for North Haven, but instead he ducks to the outside, gets himself the yards he needs, and a little extra. North Haven is still in this game. Look at that play by Corey Hooks. Great awareness. It looked like I said, he was trying to get through between the tackle and the guard. He saw that the hole was closed, and then he goes to the outside and just tries to get to the sideline, and that's what you need to do. So the chains move, the clock continues to go. 1st and 10. Justin White rolls out. He's got a man in front of him. He dives and tries to get a couple yards. He does.
He dives ahead, gets a couple of yards.
And there's a stoppage of play.
Official timeout on the field.
North Haven only getting 2 yards on the run from Justin White.
So 2nd down and 8.
2nd and 8.
Clock starts up again.
Fairfield Prep with 14 unanswered points here in the second half, giving them the 7-point lead with 3.5 to go. It will be Hooks and Augustine behind the line. Snap goes to Hooks. Goes up the middle, finds a hole, gets to midfield. The ball is on the ground, but I think Hooks was able to regain it.
Hooks gets across the 50, reaches for an extra yard.
Gotta protect that football. You caught a break there.
3rd and 1.
Caught a break there as we see Hooks trying to get an extra yard, reaching out, but Fairfield Prep trying to punch it out here. You see right there, he's trying to reach for it and almost got that ball punched out. 3rd and 2. Hooks again. Kicks out. He's got the first down. He tiptoes the sideline, gets out of bounds. First down, North Haven. What a great job here by Corey Hooks. Getting the yards he needs. Avoids the tackle. Crosses the 45. 1st and 10 from the 45-yard line. And Corey Hooks comes off the field for this play. In comes Justin White. Jeff Williston with White. White with the man deep. Nowhere close. And he had a guy pressuring him right there, number 21, Zach Kahn, applying the pressure, as you see right here on the near side of the ball. But great job by Justin White, still looking to throw that ball with a man on his backside, but the offensive line's got to do a better job at blocking that linebacker there. He went uncontested towards Justin White. 2nd and 10. Hooks spins around. He's got 2 guys in front of him. He keeps going backwards. He steps arms his way like Eli Manning. Are you kidding me? He's still on his feet. still on his feet. What looked like was going to lose 25 yards ends up still losing a yard, but that could have been a lot worse. And now look at this pressure. The offensive line just completely collapsed on this play. Hooks is then on his own, breaking a couple tackles, almost gets to the original line of scrimmage. I mean, that's a play that you saw in Super Bowl 42, with the exception of the Tyree catch. But so another injury on the field. Another leg cramp injury. So with 2 minutes to go in this game, North Haven has one timeout, Fairfield Prep with 2. The ball is at the 46-yard line, 3rd and 11. Josh Blumenthal was the injured player. He walks off fine. Another attack of the leg cramps for North Haven.
Okay, so 3rd and 11.
They have Justin White in. We have seen him throw for 18 and also a couple times past 20. 3rd and 11. White drops it. Incomplete, broken up.
Nice defense there by
You take a shot, but right there was about 5 or 6 players from the Jesuits defense. No way was that play going to come to fruition unless there was a miracle there. So 4th and 11. Do or die here for the Indians. They have to convert. If I'm the Jesuits defensive backs, I stick everybody right at that 45-yard line. Don't let anybody behind you. And then when they pass underneath, you just collapse right at the ball carrier. Fourth and 11. White drops back, throws, and some miscommunication there. Incomplete. Fairfield Prep takes the ball, and it looks like it's going to be a win for Fairfield Prep. Fairfield Prep goes into this half losing 7-0, and they have found their way back, getting 14 unanswered points in the second half. And it looks like they will walk away with a victory as the Indians fall to 0-1. A tough loss for the North Haven. They had their chances of putting this game away, but a fumble inside the 20-yard line, missing 4th down here. They could not score after the first drive of this game. There's the knee. And North Haven takes their final timeout. Everything was looking good for North Haven coming out of the half. They established the run. They were controlling the clock. They were applying pressure. They were stopping the run. But Fairfield Prep made the adjustments needed to kick this game into second gear for them. And they will walk away 1-0 in this young 2019 season. A lot to learn from in this loss for North Haven. I'm sure tomorrow morning when they go over the tape, Coach Sagnell will have a lot to say on things they can work on as they head to week 2 with another home game that we will have here on NHTV and also Facebook Live. Handoff to Serenities. They need to pop that ball out, and they don't, and he actually is able to move the chains. Out of timeouts, now the clock just continues to run. A hard-fought matchup between both teams. Nothing to really hang your head on this loss, but still a game that could have been won for the North Haven Indians.
The clock will run.
Victory formation for Fairfield. Actually, no, they go into the I formation. I'm sorry. They still need to have a couple plays. And they'll drop the knee right there.
Ira will take a knee.
Irapoli. The Indians defense just did not have an answer here in the second half for Sean Nelson or Dean Serenities. They just kept running it up the middle, up the middle, up the middle. And the offensive line just gave them the holes they needed, getting 2 big touchdowns inside the red zone.
I gotta just like get right there.
And there's the final knee that we'll need in this game. It is a final. Fairfield Prep wins this one 14-7.
So the final seconds will tick off the clock. Fairfield Prep will win the game 14-7. Reminder all fans that we will be back in action here at Fairfield Field next week at 7 o'clock.
It will be a long week for the North Haven Indians. Hopefully they can bounce back from this next week, as they will be home again. And we'll be here too on NHTV and Facebook Live. We'll take a short break. When we come back, our final thoughts as the North Haven Indians fall short to Fairfield Prep. Again, the final score 14-7. You're watching Friday Night Football on NHTV.
Arnold's Jewelers, the North Haven Diamond Center, 117 Washington Avenue in North Haven. Decades of experience and a deep commitment to the North Haven community. Visit us today at thearnoldsjewelers.com.
Subway, Universal Drive, North Haven. Locally owned and operated, featuring delicious subs, wraps, salads, and all of your catering needs. Subway, Universal Drive next to Home Depot in North Haven.
Forget-Me-Not Florist, 39 State Street, North Haven. A true full-service flower shop providing same-day delivery. Whether it's birthdays, anniversaries, or sympathy, Forget-Me-Not is there for you.
HB Communications, 60 Dodge Avenue, North Haven. Since 1946, specializing in audio-video solutions, including video conferencing, unified communications, digital signage, and more. HB Communications.
North Haven Funeral Home, 36 Washington Avenue, North Haven. Since 1953, the one source families rely on for caring, compassionate service. North Haven Funeral Home.
The Landing of North Haven, offering personalized assisted living and memory care service. They feature a highly trained staff and activities prioritizing health and wellness. The Landing of North Haven, a warm, friendly, and welcoming environment at 201 Clintonville Road.
Arnold's Jewelers, the North Haven Diamond Center, 117 Washington Avenue in North Haven. Decades of experience and a deep commitment to the North Haven community. Visit us today at thearnoldsjewelers.com. Forget-Me-Not Florist, 39 State Street, North Haven. A true full-service flower shop providing same-day delivery. Whether it's birthdays, anniversaries, or sympathy, Forget-Me-Not is there for you.
HB Communications, 60 Dodge Avenue, North Haven. Since 1946, specializing in audio-video solutions, including video conferencing, unified communications, digital signage, and more. HB Communications.
North Haven Funeral Home, 36 Washington Avenue, North Haven. Since 1953, the one source families rely on for caring, compassionate service. North Haven Funeral Home.
The Landing of North Haven, offering personalized assisted living and memory care service. They feature a highly trained staff and activities prioritizing health and wellness. The Landing of North Haven, a warm, friendly, and welcoming environment at 201 Clintonville Road.
Arnold's Jewelers, the North Haven Diamond Center, 117 Washington Avenue in North Haven. Decades of experience and a deep commitment to the North Haven community. Visit us today at thearnoldsjewelers.com. Forget-Me-Not Florist, 39 State Street, North Haven. A true full-service flower shop providing same-day delivery. Whether it's birthdays, anniversaries, or sympathy, Forget-Me-Not is there for you.
HB Communications, 60 Dodge Avenue, North Haven. Since 1946, specializing in audio-video solutions, including video conferencing, unified communications, digital signage, and more. HB Communications.
Subway, Universal Drive, North Haven. Locally owned and operated, featuring delicious subs, wraps, salads, and all of your catering needs. Subway, Universal Drive next to Home Depot in North Haven. North Haven Funeral Home, 36 Washington Avenue, North Haven. Since 1953, the one source families rely on for caring, compassionate service. North Haven Funeral Home.
The Landing of North Haven, offering personalized assisted living and memory care service. They feature a highly trained staff and activities prioritizing health and wellness. The Landing of North Haven, a warm, friendly, and welcoming environment at 201 Clintonville Road.
Arnold.
North Haven falls on the opening game of this 2019 season with a final score of 14-7 against the Fairfield Prep Jesuits. My name is Michael Valenti. Again, thank you for watching North Haven High School football on NHTV, also on Facebook Live. It was a tough loss here for North Haven. They had their chances. They were in the red zone 3 times. They were able to score a touchdown on their first drive of the game with a 9-yard touchdown run from Max Augustine. But then on their second trip, Max Augustine coughed it up on a 4th and 1. He had the first down trying to get extra yards, but the ball gets punched out of his hands, and Fairfield Prep was able to get that ball. And then their third time into the red zone, Chase DiCarlo had a field goal blocked. So there's points on the board that could have had and could have won this game for North Haven. Now Fairfield Prep also had their mistakes too. They also had a fumble in the red zone. They failed to convert on 4th down a couple of times in this game. They really didn't get things going offensively in that first half. So, you know, North Haven had their chance to win this game, but unfortunately they did not convert when they needed to convert, as they fall short again with a final score of 14-7. You know, one thing, a positive here, is that Corey Hooks looked really good. The running game looked really good when they got things going. That offensive line, for a while, were kicking gears. They were opening holes and stuff. So I think a lot of things to look positive about in this game, but obviously some things they need to correct, like the fumbles, like the blocked field goal. Now you wonder whether or not the decision to accept the 15-yard penalty was the right call or not. There was a game misconduct after the first touchdown where Coach Sagnella decided to decline the penalty, trying to get the field position instead of going for the extra, the distance on the extra point, which was good. Either way, North Haven still needed to score, even if the decision was good or bad. They just did not score after the first drive. So that is why we have here a final score of 14-7. Join us next week when we're back here at Mike Vanacore Field. Again, 7 o'clock is kickoff time. North Haven will host another game of Friday Night Football on NHTV. For everyone here at the North Haven television crew, my name is Michael Valenti saying so long from Mike Vanacore Field.